What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. I am doing a very special video today. I'm going to be uploading this on my 26th birthday. So I wanted to do 26 lessons I've learned in 26 years. I put a lot of thought into this. I sat down at the beach and reflected. I journaled. I wrote down these lessons. It was so meaningful and honestly emotional for me to write these down. I put a lot of thought into it. I really wanted to bring some value to the table today. I have my list here. Let's get started on number 1. Tell the people you love that you appreciate them sincerely. I have always tried to tell my friends, my family, the people in my life who I love and appreciate how much they mean to me, whether that be verbally. I've been a big advocate of handwritten letters. I just think it is so important to tell the people who have made a difference in your life how much they mean to you and really sincerely open up. You never know how much time you have with anyone, so it's really important to just share that, and I personally feel like it makes me feel really good to thoughtfully tell the people that I love how much they mean to me. Number 2, the words you choose matter. Words are so valuable and important, and I think that choosing the words that you use makes such a difference, and to pay attention to that. Be intentional with your vocabulary. I feel like it's easy to say something that we don't mean. I've learned to be very intentional with my words when I'm communicating to someone, to make sure I'm saying exactly how I feel, to not be implying what I'm feeling. Sometimes to be more careful with my word choice. Words are free. Choose the words that you want to use clearly and concisely to describe how you're feeling. Number 3, there can be 2 truths. This is something that I've come to learn. 2 things can be true that are even opposing. You could be trying your best and you could have hurt my feelings at the same time. When communicating, when we're dealing with conflict, it's easy to feel like your feelings are hurt and blame the other person, but that person might be trying their best. Maybe we can't completely fault them for trying their best. That's just an example. 2 things can be true at the same time. You can love someone and that person can not be best for you. You can be trying your best, but you can also still grow. There are so many different ways to apply this, but that is number 3. Number 4, nothing lasts forever and no chapter of life lasts forever. When we look at our life as a whole, obviously we are one person living it. When I look back, I can definitely distinguish each chapter, whether that be elementary school, middle school, high school, college, post-college, jobs, friendships, people, relationships. There are so many different chapters, and what I've come to learn is that nothing lasts forever, both good and bad. There have been challenges that I've faced and times that it's like, oh, I cannot wait to get through this, and it just feels like the end is so far away. A lot of times, that next chapter is just around the corner. If you're going through a difficult time, it's not gonna last forever, and you will overcome that phase of your life. Same thing if you're having a great time in life. I personally am in a relatively happy chapter right now. I really enjoy my job, where I'm living, my friends, my family. I feel like this chapter is really special to me, and I know that this time of life won't last forever, so I just try and soak in each day and make the most of it. Number 5, spend time in your happy place outdoors. Like I said, I wrote down these ideas when I was sitting at the beach near the ocean. For me, my happy place in the outdoors is sitting on the beach in front of the water. That is so calming to me. I'm able to have so much clarity, peace, de-stress there, but I know that that's not for everyone. Some people enjoy skiing in the mountains. Some people enjoy boats on a lake or fishing. I think everyone has their own unique sense of the outdoors and a special place for them, and it's so important to spend your time outdoors. I know for me, my day always feels so much better the second I've stepped outside. Nature is super powerful. Number 6, it's okay to make mistakes. That's how you learn. It's so easy when we make mistakes to be hard on ourselves. If you made a mistake, you didn't know any better, or if you made a mistake, it's something that you didn't think to do. It's not like it was an intentional thing that you did. And 9 times out of 10, you will learn from that mistake, and you probably won't make it again, or you'll have better awareness to it, whatever you're doing the next time. Whether that be in work, if you made a mistake, now you know not to do that again. You know to pay attention to something. In a friendship or a relationship, if you did something, now you know how to handle a situation differently. If you're just living your life and you realize that there's things that you want to evolve and change, making those mistakes and being wrong is how you learn. It's okay to be wrong. Everybody makes a mistake, if not multiple mistakes in their lifetime. That is how we grow. Give yourself grace, make a mistake, own it, and learn from it. Number 7, your past self didn't know what you know now. I look back at my life and some of the chapters and phases and decisions that I've made. In that moment, I feel like that was something that felt right to me. However, if I were to be in that same situation now, now, I probably would have done things differently. As we grow and as we evolve, we obtain more knowledge. Don't be hard on your past self for trying their best in situations where now you have more information. The past version of yourself was the foundation to getting where you are now. Without those decisions, without those choices, you would not be the person that you are. Give grace to your own evolution. Number 8, appreciate and take care of your health. I remember seeing this quote on Instagram, something along the lines of, you have 99 problems until you have a health problem, then you just have one. And I feel like that is so true, and it is very, very easy to take our health for granted. Do what you can to invest in your health, exercise, move your body, eat healthy. Of course, life is a balance. I'm not saying be perfect, but it's good to be cognizant and take care of yourself. Go to the doctor, be aware of your health, because having a health issue can be exhausting both physically and mentally. We all experience different degrees of health issues. Don't take your health for granted. Invest time and energy into your health. Number 9, love exists in different forms. I recently read a book that kind of expanded on this topic, and I felt like it's been impactful for how I view love, and that is that there is no one definition for that word. I think that love can manifest in so many different forms for your family, for your friends, for your relationships, for your coworkers, for your pets, for life, and there doesn't have to be one rigid template for what that looks like. Every love is going to look different. Every love is going to teach us different things, and you can put your own definition and your own boundaries to the different loves in your life. I think that love can feel like such a scary word. It is important, and you should embrace love and the different loves in your life and how they show up. You can just communicate that. Not every love maybe is a forever love. Love has no bounds. Number 10, it feels good to lift other people up. One of the things that I've tried and strived for in the most recent years of my life is really to empower other people. I've come to realize that yes, I want to feel good, but it makes me feel good to uplift other people. One of the primary reasons that I wanted to start this YouTube channel, that I wanted to come onto the internet, is I wanted to help one person or inspire one person or make them feel good. It feels good to uplift others. It's so easy to get sucked into our own like selfish world. For me, I think it's great to encourage the people in your life, encourage strangers, be a supporting force in their life, because that will go such a long way, and in turn, it will make you feel so good. One of my mission statements in life was to empower others and make them feel like their best selves. That is because doing so makes me feel good. So you will feel good empowering others and lifting them up. Number 11, you are evolving every day. This is something that I think we often forget, and that's that even in those everyday moments, the day-to-day, we don't realize our evolution. It's not something that's extremely noticeable overnight. If you think about where you were 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, there wasn't any ever one, maybe there was catalysts for change, but for the most part, you've grown through your day-to-day. You've grown through learning little things, changing your behaviors slightly. It's hard to change habits overnight, but I know for me, I've been so much more aware of myself, and you are evolving. Even if you don't feel like that, even if you feel like I'm stuck right now, even just knowing that you're stuck is leading you to some type of solution. Therefore, you are going to change. You are evolving in your day-to-day. Give yourself credit. Don't be so hard on yourself. It can feel like we are not going fast enough. We're not getting things done. We're not accomplishing our goals, but you are getting one step closer every single day. You are evolving. Number 12, invest time in reading. I used to love being read to as a child. I loved stories, but I absolutely hated reading. When teachers would call on me, would say, no, pass, no thank you. I had such a hard time reading out loud, and I could not have been paid to read a book for fun in the early stages and ages of my life. However, about 2 or 3 years ago now, I started what I'm gonna call my reading journey, and that's when I really started to invest in reading for fun. It has honestly changed my life. Reading is such an escape. It is so good for your mental health. It can be educational. You take away little things, even from fictional stories. I'm reading a book now that I probably would not have picked out for myself, that someone picked out for me, and it is changing my life. It's just because of that book. Spend time reading, decompress, escape into that world. You won't regret reading. Number 13, your passion was placed on your heart for a reason. I will talk about myself. I love to dance, and a lot of people don't know that. I don't publicly dance anymore. That is a passion that's been placed on my heart. Same thing with YouTube. That's something that's been placed on my heart. However, I'm not interested in airplanes or soccer. And there's people out there who are amazing at soccer, and I have an interest in airplanes. We all have different interests and passions, and it's so important to follow what you love, because That is your calling, and not everyone has that calling. Not everyone has that gift that you have. So even though it can be hard to sometimes pursue our passions, they are so close to our heart. Not everyone has that gift, and we need you. We need you to explore your passion and run with it full-heartedly, because you have a gift and that is going to inspire others. When you follow your passion and you are sharing your craft, your art, it impacts so many people. Please, your passion was placed on your heart for a reason. Don't stop dancing. Don't stop making music. Don't stop singing. Don't stop creating art. Whatever it is that is calling you, that is yours and it's there for a reason, so follow it. Number 14, embrace your emotions. Being emotional and being sad are two different things. I feel my emotions so deeply, and a lot of times I get emotional, which shows up in the form of being teary-eyed or crying or being choked up. There is a difference between being emotional and feeling your raw feelings and being sad. Sometimes I'm crying, but I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying simply because I'm so touched and I'm feeling what I'm feeling. It can be really vulnerable to feel our emotions and show that. I've come to learn that it is so much better to share, to be raw, to be vulnerable, to embrace your feeling rather than keeping it bottled up and then either exploding or feeling hopeless feeling. Emotions are part of being human and they are so raw and real. I think you should embrace that. Number 15, don't compare your story. No two lives are the exact same. I think that when I think about this concept, it's so hard to wrap my brain around the fact that literally no two people live the exact same life. You are the only person who has the parents that you have, the siblings that you have, the passions that you have, the house that you've had. Like, you are the only person who has your life. We all have different circumstances and situations that shape us. So you cannot compare your story to somebody else's, whether that feels like you see someone succeeding and it's like, well, why are they where I'm supposed to be? But that person has their own struggles and their own things that they want to accomplish that you've done. So it is really important to, it's hard, but it's important to not compare your story and your journey because it is so unique to you and everything will fall into place at the right time. Comparing yourself doesn't change anything. It's just gonna make yourself feel bad. Know that your journey is unique to you. It is happening for you. Celebrating other people doesn't take away from your own journey and your own success. There is space for everyone. Number 16, you've already made an impact on somebody's life. I personally feel like a lot of people want to know that they made a difference, that they are gonna be remembered, that they did something important with their time here. I can guarantee you that you have already made an impact on one, and if not one, probably way more than one person in your life. You may not realize it and maybe they haven't told you, but you are impacting people and your journey, your actions, your confidence, your vulnerability, your presence in someone's life has impacted them, whether that be a close friend, your parents, your coworker. You have made a difference on someone else's life, and whether that be big or small, it's something to be celebrated. You are important and you matter. It can feel like I haven't done this big grand gesture of a thing, but I guarantee you in your day-to-day, you have inspired people, you have touched people's hearts, and you have been the reason that somebody had a better day, that somebody felt good about themselves that day, that people walked away and maybe felt more confident or more secure in themselves. You have made an impact on someone's life. Pat yourself on the back for that. Number 17, believe in yourself. I think that this is cliche. It is, but it is so important to believe in yourself and your dream, because although other people can believe in it along with you, you are the only person who at the root of it, at the seed of it, can really bring it to life. You can have support and you can have people who help you along the way, but at the end of the day, your own self-belief is incredible. It is so powerful that you do not give up on your dream, on your vision, on your life. At the end of the day, the only person you really, truly always have is you. So you need to have that relationship with yourself where you believe in yourself, to know and trust yourself and your intuition that you have got this. 18, music is extremely powerful. I get so choked up when I think about music, when I listen to music. Like I mentioned, I love to dance. I have spent hours, probably years at this point of my life, in my bathroom with my headphones on, dancing by myself, because that is just such an outlet, a therapy for me. There's so many reasons why music is so powerful. First of all, you can have music in different languages and not understand the words, and just the beat can resonate with someone. Vice versa, you can have lyrics lyrics to a song that are so powerful that they make such a statement in your life. Lyrics. You never forget lyrics. I don't understand how this works, but it's nearly impossible to forget lyrics of a song once you know it. Whether it's been years, you will never forget the lyrics of that song or how it goes. And then also just the emotion behind it. There's so many different genres. It's an infinite concept. There's always more. I don't think there's a single person in this world who's gonna say, I don't like music. It's just a matter of we all have different tastes. We all have different genres that resonate with us, but music is so unbelievably powerful. There's so much of it. It is such a craft. I know for me, through dancing, music has literally been such an emotional outlet, whether that be anger, love, sadness, happiness, energy, excitement. Moving to music for me has been one of the most important things in my life. I just think that music is extremely powerful. Number 19, the thing that is not working out for you is part of something greater working out. I'm gonna give a couple examples of this. There might be a relationship in your life that is not working out. Maybe you're going through a breakup. Maybe you realize that this is not your person. Maybe you cannot understand, you have so much love for this person and you cannot understand why in the world this relationship is not working out. I promise you it is because there is a greater love out there for you. It is happening for a reason and it's for something better. It's nearly impossible to see it when you're not at that next stage yet, but you will look back and be like, oh my gosh, if that relationship didn't end, I wouldn't be with this person now and I cannot imagine my life without this person. Another example, if you get laid off from your job, I personally got laid off from my job about a year ago, and in the moment it's like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? This is so stressful. I'm unemployed. I have to find a new job. And if that didn't happen, I probably would have stayed as long as I could and I wouldn't be at the job that I'm at now, which I absolutely love. There are so many examples of this, big and small. I think that it's such a hopeful statement to believe that something not working out is not that it's not going to happen. It's just going to happen in a greater capacity and you need to trust it, because I guarantee you I have had so many different examples of this in my life. It always is true. Number 20 is that heartbreaks heal. I have gone through a number of heartbreaks in my life, and there have been people who I have been absolutely earth-shatteringly devastated over, and I don't feel that way anymore. And you won't feel that way anymore either if that's what you're going through, if it's your first heartbreak, or if it's not your first heartbreak, you know that you got over the heartbreak before that. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves of this. Heartbreak on a romantic scale always does heal. Other heartbreaks get better in time. Time really does heal all wounds. Your heartbreak will fully heal. Number 21, approach advice from a non-biased standpoint. I like to think that I am a self-aware individual. I've spent a lot of time investing in understanding my emotions, understanding communication. I have come to realize that when I am giving someone advice, it's easy. It's so easy to give them advice from the standpoint of your bias, of what you think is best in general, or what you think is best for that person, but it might not be what is actually best for that person. If someone is coming to you seeking advice, take a step back and don't think about what you would want in that situation. Don't think about what you would want for that person in that situation, but what that person would want for themselves. Whether that be a close friend or someone you don't know well. Probe questions to get them to reflect and think rather than projecting your own bias on them. I think that that will go a long way to give them the tools and the advice and guidance that will ultimately be what's best for them. Number 22, you've yet to meet every person that you will ever love. I think that this is so special. When I moved to Florida 2 years ago, I never imagined to meet the amount of people that I now know and love. I think as we get older, it does seem to get sparser. There are so many people that you are going to continue to meet that are going to inspire you, that are going to be important to you, that you are going to love. I think that's a beautiful thing, whether that be a romantic love or someone in your adult life, someone in your later lives. Like, there's still so many people out there that you are going to meet and that you are going to love, and that is a really exciting, hopeful thought for me. Number 23, you look good without makeup on. When I wrote this point, I wanted to come from a place of not even just makeup, but your own natural beauty. First, I'll start with makeup. I think that it took me so many years in my life to realize that more so than how I look, how I made people feel is what was more important. 9 times out of 10, people are consumed by themselves, that they are not looking at you, scrutinizing you, judging you, analyzing you the way that you are analyzing yourself. When I look at my friends, I'm like, wow, you look so beautiful without makeup on. And I know that they don't feel that way. Sometimes I don't feel that way when I don't have makeup on. And I realized that it is learning to love yourself, and it's hard. I'm getting to that point, and as I've aged, I've gotten so much more confident to not have makeup on and to genuinely think I look good that way. It's so easy to harp on how we look, but I promise you and I guarantee you that like you are beautiful without makeup. Beauty comes in so many different forms. You cannot compare how you look because like I said, the internet is a place of filters and makeup and highlight reels that's not always how people look too. I have really made an active effort over the past few years to feel good and look up to role models who don't wear makeup on the internet, you know, just are really authentic and share their raw self. I'm so inspired by them because I'm like, wow, that's a badass woman who is going after her goals, who's sharing her life, who's doing all these incredible things and is not focused on how she looks. Just know that you are beautiful just the way you are. You look good without makeup on. Number 24, this actually is a good segue. Be cognizant to what you're consuming on social media. Again, I love YouTube. We're here today. I love, you know, the days of YouTube. You saw what the video title was about, and for the most part, you were actively choosing to consume that source of media. Now with the days of TikTok, not to bash TikTok, but there is very little control over what's going to pop up next. It is so easy to go down that vortex of scrolling and literally just consuming what's put in front of us that I've come to really try and be cognizant of what I'm consuming. Is this piece of information and content of what I'm absorbing actually valuable? Is it making me feel better or is it making me feel worse? Am I just scrolling and watching people's lives, or what is the takeaway from it? I think that there's so much value in content, not to say that it's a waste of time by any means. Like, I'm pursuing my time doing this. I do this for a living. Just be cognizant of what you are consuming. Maybe try to actively change or seek out educational, inspirational, valuable pieces of content when you are spending time online. Number 25. This one is a little bit controversial to me, and I would love to know what you think about this. When you get to the destination, you'll look back on the journey and realize that that was the fun part. I'm gonna use my marathon for an example for this. I ran a marathon 2 years ago, and the marathon was one day. It was 4 hours and 30 minutes of my life, and it was absolutely incredible. However, when I look back on my marathon and my marathon journey, 90% of that was the marathon training. That is where there is so much reward in what I did. Of course, running the marathon was a huge accomplishment, but I could not have run the marathon without all those days and weeks and months of training. In that situation, I got to the destination and it was amazing, but when I look back on the journey and how hard I worked, that was the fun part and the reward. It's kind of like that Disney movie Soul, where he wanted to work so hard to be a jazz artist, and then he looked back and he's like, well, this is it, he made it. And it's like that grind and that hustle was, I might be botching this storyline a little bit, but that's kind of the gist of what that movie was. Maybe it's not always true. Maybe there's sometimes where you get to that destination and even though you grinded and then you got to that destination, that things are better ahead and now you're in a better place financially or emotionally, or you can grow from that place. I do think that in some situations, enjoy the journey. Maybe I should say enjoy the journey, because that's part of the reward of when you get to the destination. Number 26. I also am reading these in the order that they came to me, so some are better than others. Number 26. Your thoughts aren't always real. Analyze what is true. So I want to talk about anxiety for a little bit, because I think this is something that shows up in every single person. Every single person has some form of anxiety, although it ranges. It's so easy to believe something and just think because I believe it, it's true. What I try and do is take a step back and understand what is actually true. Like, do I have this for a fact, or am I just assuming this? Let's say, for example, I'm anxious that the guy I likes a new girl and now he's treating that new girl so well. That's my anxiety, and I'm like, that's the truth, and I feel so bad about myself because he's treating her well, but he didn't treat me well, when in reality, you don't have that as a fact. There is absolutely no truth behind that. He's probably treating her just as bad, thinking, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not good enough, when in reality, like, you're doing so much. Just because you're thinking about that doesn't mean that it's true. My point in all this is that just to understand your emotion, I think it's so easy for us to think that we are so alone in how we feel, and anxiety manifests in so many different forms. But just because you're thinking something doesn't mean it's the truth, doesn't mean it's reality. And it helps to break that down, digest it into pieces that you know are true or aren't true. If you are feeling like you are spiraling, like you are feeling anxious, that always helps me to cope with those emotions. That is all 26. Thank you so much for watching. This video meant so much to me. I really tried to pour my heart into this video and share what I have learned and some of the lessons and things that I have come to in my 26 years. I appreciate you watching, sticking around to this point. Please be sure to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you do not miss future videos, and I will see you next time.